Well, preseason game number 1 is upon us on Saturday. And the Guardians, well, they're not making things much easier on us. But at least in 8 days, we have high school. Well, I guess technically a week. If you play on Thursday night,
Yeah.
you have high school football here in the state of Ohio, Northeast Ohio, especially. We're going to get into that on the shortened edition of the Voice of Land on the Inside Edge Network, brought to you by the great folks at Greeny Sports Cards, greenysportscards.com, greenysportscards.com. They got their own show now. They're live doing eBay bids. They're doing shows all over the country now.
Yeah.
I even have them, I saw a post about Luke Combs is doing concerts again next year in 2027. And he's not coming to Cleveland. So I was like, I'm upset about this. This guy never comes to Cleveland. Only Columbus if he makes it to Ohio. But apparently Luke Combs is a big-time card collector.
Oh, okay.
So he has like an account, Coombs Cards. So Luke Combs Cards or at Coombs Cards. So they responded to my tweet saying, would love to do a video talking about card collecting with them. So they connect with a lot of different people. greenysportscards.com, greenysportscards.com. Great people. Steve, Jeremy, their entire team. Love them over there. Can't thank them enough for continuing to partner with us here on The Voice of the Land. I'm Kevin Arnold. He's Ryan Mosser. And
you know what's crazy real quick? Why wouldn't Luke Combs? I mean, isn't Tracy Chapman from here? Didn't he cover Fast Car? I mean, that'd be perfect. Yeah. That'd be perfect. Get to Cleveland, dude. What are you doing?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I got nothing.
Just thought of that when you're talking about it. So
yeah, I've seen like the last 3 or 4 now I will say country music. When I first met Janet, I may or may not have told her that the words country music and the word hate may have been in the same sentence in my lexicon, but I have evolved as a human being. So ever since I, became a fan of Luke Combs and listened to his music and really started to enjoy it, it's like 3 or 4 years now that I've seen tours be announced by him. And I mean, everybody's just telling me like, go to Pittsburgh, go to Detroit. Well, guess what? Like that costs money, that costs gas money, which sucks now.
Yeah.
Flights cost even more money now because of gas and all that type of stuff. So it's not, and then add in the babysitter thing. Like it'd be a whole lot easier if I'm only driving 20 minutes to go see this guy. I'm not using up even anywhere near the amount of gas that I would driving to one. Like I don't have to fill up like once I get there and once I get home from that place. Plus, find a babysitter, like it'd be a whole lot easier. Just so, Detroit and Pittsburgh, yeah, it's great. Like they're close. Don't tell me how to spend my money, all right? Leave me alone. I mean, I could tell people how to spend their money if they don't want to watch bad football, but
or baseball.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh man.
At least you get good ticket packages for the baseball stuff. And there's more, baseball is part, like when you go to a baseball game, it's more about the experience than it is the game. Football, it's about the game. Some people it's about the experience, but then they don't remember the experience or the football game. Oh, to each their own. But the Browns do play this Saturday against Chicago Bears, and we will see Deshaun Watson be the first one up with the first half reps as the starter for the Browns for this weekend. Shedeur will be the starter for the Bills game. Of course, they have a joint practice with them, so it'll be interesting to see how they divvy up reps by the time we get to a week from today, and we'll be talking about all of that next week. It's the same old, right? Like this is why I said it's a shortened edition. Like I don't know, like how deep we can continue to go on this. Like
I can go, man. I'm exhausted by it, to be honest, man. It's absolutely exhausting. This quarterback competition. Everyone keeps pretending like this is some dramatic, meaningful storyline, and It's not. It's theater, man. It's filler. It's something to talk about because the team doesn't have anything real to sell right now. I'm tired of the hypotheticals. I'm tired of the what ifs. I'm tired of the daily rep counting. Like we're tracking stock prices. Because the truth is, and I said it last week, but I've speaking as someone who's watched every snap, every drill, every mistake. These guys suck. They both suck. And it's sad because, of course, I would love to have, Shedeur Sanders as the future, quarterback, franchise quarterback. That'd make it so much easier. But it's obvious to me these guys are not playing well. I mean, every pass I see Shedeur throw is wobbly. Is so wobbly. What I can't even. I was gonna do a simile there, but I couldn't think of something dramatic enough. Nonetheless, it's. I don't know. I'm ready for the Browns to announce the starter so we can get through this season and move on to 2027. To be honest, when we finally get the real reboot, I think this year I honestly just believe this is a placeholder season. And I'm just tired of this crap. This fighting over garbage. We're fighting over garbage. They both suck, guys. Let's be real. I mean, I'm not being a hater. I would love specifically for Shedeur to step up and be the guy, but he is showing you why he was a 5th round pick, and he can't even beat out garbage Deshaun Watson. He can't beat him out. He like this should be already settled on the field in practice, and it's not. We're going to over 13 practices. We're going into the first, preseason game, and we still don't know who the starting quarterback is. If you can't beat out Deshaun Watson, I'm sorry, but Deshaun Watson sucks. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. Sorry, that's where I am right now. I don't know. I mean, Watson's getting the first start of preseason game, and Shedeur will get the second one at home. Fun with the Bills, but like I said, like this for me, this is all theater. I want proof of concept on the field. I'm tired of the talk. I do not care. You want to be good at football? Be good at football. Stop talking about a guy that might be good at football. So
it's bad. It's really it's really bad. Like the people that say Deshaun's in the lead, well, he's only in the lead when he's only had 2, maybe 1.5 good days of camp. I'm hearing people say that Shedeur Sanders is more consistent. But then you see the ball fly in the air off of Sanders' hand, and I have no idea how it makes it where it's supposed to go.
Even when it does, you got Isaiah Bond diving and have to make a miraculous catch, and everyone's like, "Oh wow, look at the throw that Shedeur overthrew him by 6 yards. That was an amazing catch." Like, what are we talking about here? The best play in camp was an overthrow and a great play by a receiver. So, sorry.
Now, to counteract that specifically, we have seen like receivers make the great quarterbacks. Like there's times where they get made to look.
Sure, of course.
Good too with plays like that.
Absolutely.
So, it's nice to have wide receivers that can make plays.
Yeah, that'd be
like that.
Absolutely.
Let's find the silver linings. Let's find the positives, the light in all of this. But like you said, like it's just not. It's not it. But like, I don't want to have to having to wait for another year. And then just trusting this organization to get it right. And then and I may have said this last week. I don't know. Dude, so many days and so many minutes run together right now that I can't keep track of anything. But my biggest fear and what we know Browns teams to do is we see a great season of college football, great quarterbacks. Like there's a good amount to select from for teams that need one. Not saying you can't go wrong, but at least that collection is there. The quantity and quality are there, especially for the first round. And the Browns do just enough to not be in a position to get them.
Oh man,
they'll win just enough to not be in a position, but you'll see enough from these quarterbacks that tell you don't have that guy, and now you're going to be stuck in purgatory because you have so much great talent around this team that is young and needs to grow and all that type of stuff. But they're going to do just enough to not be able to get one of these guys. I know they have 2 first-round picks, but what I was told about the 2027 draft and the talent in it, how many people are going to, by the time we get to April of next year, how many people are going to be willing to move? Who knows? Don't like that. Like we have to even mention 2027 at this point.
Yeah, I mean, that's the unfortunate reality is we have to trust this organization to make the right decision. Whether, miraculously, Shedeur Sanders suddenly proves that he's the franchise quarterback. First off, I'll be the first one celebrating. I'm not hating on the dude. I call it as I see it. I'll be. What'd you say?
So it doesn't look good. That dude exactly. Is a good dude. And what I love
exactly,
he was saying like we and like using we every single time. The first 4 questions to Deshaun Watson, who immediately followed Shedeur Sanders, and I was at my other job. I was running a show that literally played Shedeur Sanders, then Deshaun Watson, then Todd Monken for our entire second segment. And I had to figure out all the commercials and all that type of stuff. But like Deshaun was immediately after Shedeur. I heard we, I heard us, I heard those types of things, saying all the right things. How much of it he believes? I don't know. How much of it anybody believes? Who knows? But at least he's saying the right things. Then you got Deshaun saying me, I, me, all these types of things. I saw videos of Shedeur Sanders on Rainbow Day with University Hospitals, Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital.
Yeah, that's
like
really cool.
Surprising fans and talking to these kids that are dealing with these difficult things, and they get these bright moments. Like he understands the moment. He's very cognitive of what's around him. He started his press conference on yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. That was that day. By apologizing for the way he acted in his last press conference. Like he apologized to the media when he doesn't have to do that. He apologized because he understands that. So love Shedeur, but to your point, what we see isn't the ultimate what we're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say enough great things about what he has done in the community thus far, and just over a year of being here in Cleveland. He says his home is Cleveland. He's embraced Cleveland, and that's everything we've wanted out of a quarterback or a leader for this team as Cleveland fans. However, he's got to be more than an influencer. He's got to be more than just. I mean, and I'm not saying that to dog on him, dude. I like he's a great personality. He's got to be the franchise quarterback, I pray that he is. I'll be screaming it from the rooftops. I will be unbearable, but based on everything that I've seen so far, he's not that guy, not yet at least, and maybe not ever. And that's a hard truth. And Deshaun Watson, we've already seen what he is. We've seen it, we've lived it, we've suffered through that crap. I don't need to see that again. But let's stop pretending that this battle really matters right now. It's a long shot for either of these guys to be the starter in 2027. Period. There's a huge uphill battle that's going to happen, and I feel like we just got to get through 2026, survive it, and get ready for the real future. The 2027 rookie, whoever that is, that will ever actually, hopefully, if they draft the right guy, will give this franchise a perspective or just a shot in the right direction. Because right now, all of this is noise, all of this is filler. This is a TV show and it's getting boring. I'm ready for the reboot next year, man. I just I love Shedeur as the guy. I don't necessarily like what I've seen as Shedeur as the NFL quarterback, and he has a lot to prove right now. So
I mean, I'm hoping we get a deep highlight reel that we can watch in the offseason of Denzel Boston making great catches.
Yes.
Casey Concepcion, Harold Fannin, Quinshawn Judkins running over people.
This offense is looking pretty nice so far. I mean, it's not, there are a bunch of young guys, but a lot of really good young guys. So,
I want a highlight package of Jared Verse just absolutely destroying people. Hopefully, the injury isn't too bad. We haven't seen Carson Schlesinger at practice, but I'm sure there's an element of caution there. But the longer this goes, the more concern starts to rise versus caution. But I want to see him just absolutely laying dudes out. I want to see Denzel Ward with his guitar-like celebration. I want all of that stuff. But the ultimate piece that you need to even get to the dance, which is the playoffs, you don't have right now.
Yeah, and Shador our quarterback problem or situation isn't really a problem. Our offensive line is a revolving door right now. Defense is picking up right where they left off. That's great, but like you said, Carson Swester hasn't practiced in weeks. Joe Royer, there's a whole situation going on with him right now, and allegations with that.
Do you know any? Like I work in.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm gonna drop allegedly here. Okay.
Please do.
Yeah, it's obviously allegedly. These are nothing is proven or anything, but there were rumors that he was dating one of his coach's daughters while he was in high school, while he was in college, and she was beginning as a sophomore in high school. This is all allegedly. And then allegedly there was another like Snapchat he sent on a story or one of the social medias where basically he said, hey, any underage girls, once you turn 18, hit me up. I'll do you something to that effect. And that's what I've heard and seen. And if that's the case, get off my team. Like, right. I don't know. But I don't know if that's exact. One more time. What?
What's happening at Cincinnati? At the University of Cincinnati?
I don't know, man. I do not know, but yeah, it's just Joe Royer. I was excited for him to be in this offense. I think he would have been a great tight end too. But they had definitely, if these allegations are true, they definitely have to do their due diligence. Which questions me. I saw like right after the draft, that allegation, the first one about him dating his coach's daughter. Why was that addressed during the draft? How do we just find this out right after? So that's just another question I have with the front office. I think, Andrew Berry's hit it out of the park the last 2 seasons with the drafts, but there's always these 1 or 2, 3 guys that, they draft who have problems, who end up not being on this team. And, Royer was a 5th round, 6th round pick, whatever. No, but nonetheless, that like the culture you're trying to build, that's going to hurt it. So, like I said, those are allegations. I don't know if anything of that is true, but that's what I heard. You asked. So,
I mean, look at it like this time last year, Judkins wasn't even in camp.
Right.
Yeah, Bond wasn't even in camp because of so. Andrew Berry is definitely
Perrion Winfrey. Remember him, 3rd round pick.
Yeah. So this organization is definitely shown to take chances on people. So just a lot going on. I know we'll. I don't know if I can say reluctantly. I mean, it's literally for my job because
I'll say it.
The first. And this isn't to tout myself. Trust me, this is not to tout myself. So take that with a grain of salt. But the first program on our station for my other job to react to what happens on Saturday, for a guy that does not like Deshaun Watson, has not wanted him on this team since the day that it was first reported that the Browns were interested, who's got 2 thumbs and all of that? Yep. This guy. So I'll be watching for my job, but also as a fan of Denzel Boston, do we start to the next piece of evolution? There's always camp darlings. We know that. Casey Concepcion and Denzel Boston, the way people talk about them and everybody's seeing them, it feels like more than just camp darling.
I heard a comp. I don't know where I saw this. I can't even, but I think it was on Twitter where somebody said that he has looked like young Drake London as Denzel Boston, which would be an insane comp. And wow, I would really welcome and invite anyone that plays like Drake London. I mean, I'll be at the injuries, he suffered, but just the play on the field, come on to the Browns, baby. That'd be awesome. So,
yeah. So, the next piece of evolution for that story about these guys and these rookies and these young players, especially on offense, to continue and be in a positive light and not revert towards being a camp darling. Right. That next step is Saturday because a lot of these guys and most of the starters, if they're not dealing with injury, they're going to play this Saturday. I feel like that'll be different next week because of there'll probably be some bubble wrap guys next week because of the joint practice. But that isn't. Don't start thinking that, we're going back to what Kevin Stefanski did. No, that's just how the NFL goes with these joint practices.
What's kind of refreshing though? Like at least there's two guys that are names of their camp darlings. Like we've had like guys like, Damon Sheehy Giuseppe, who was a great story, but like nobody. Devin Kajus. Yeah. Homie with the crystals and long hair who everyone thought was going to be an all pro and didn't even make the team. So like, at least we got some dudes that are like highly drafted and are looking like, darlings in preseason. That's nice.
Yeah, 2 wide receivers that were all talked about around that 20 to end of the first round type talent in a decent wide receiver class, pretty good wide receiver class for this draft. Like names we all heard about,
right?
Were drafted within the first 40, and 2 guys that were both expected to go in the first round, and only one did. Them having this story around them, I think, kind of
absolutely
takes you past a camp darling type story, and we shall see what happens on Saturday. From one rough story to another, we head to the baseball diamond.
Break real quick.
What?
You take a break real quick?
No, that's what I was leading to. That was my.
Sorry, Kev. You're the leader here. My bad. Sorry.
I had such a.
Go ahead. Reverse.
From one rough story in Cleveland sports to another, we head to the baseball diamond. Coming up next after these great messages from the great partners of the Inside Edge Network.
Looking for an iconic Cleveland music venue that features Monster Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Inside Edge Network's very own Ryan Mosser and his wife Hallie. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northeast Ohio, but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more by checking out Monster Moments Photography's link on our partners page at the InsideEdgeNetwork.com website. Monster Moments Photography, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans, dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to InsideEdgeNetwork.com under our partners section to find our link to check out all of what Fanatics has to offer.
Keon Sports is the leader in Ohio high school athletic coverage in written, print, and video streaming. From the latest news and results and written content to the high school football game of the week every Friday, Keon Sports has you covered. The vision of 15-time published author Vince McKee has become the most trusted site in Ohio high school athletic news. From podcasts to player profiles, Keon Sports is your one-stop for all of it. Visit them today at KeonSports.com or on YouTube at Keon Sports. Check out their socials on Twitter and Facebook as well.
Clean energy, bold flavors, no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Whether you're starting your workday or getting ready to exercise, Dubby Energy helps you lock in and focus. Over 15 different flavors to choose from. Order Dubby Energy right now and find out more information by checking out our partners page on InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Also, use that promo code InsideEdge10 to receive 10% off your order. Dubby Energy, your energy-focused sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
We head to the baseball diamond here on the voice of the land on the Inside Edge Network. Kevin Arnold alongside Ryan Mosser. As the Guardians lose yet another series, this time up in Detroit. You get game 2. You don't even score today. You know, if the pitching's going on point and the bullpen's on point, you can't get the offense going. If the starting pitching's going and the offense is going, You can't get the bullpen going. If the bullpen's going, you can't get bullpens going and starting pitching's going. You can't get the offense going. Like, I could go on and on and on with the three levels of baseball there, and they cannot put it together. Even the defensive side of things, we've seen it being rough. We see a year that we never expect from Jose Ramirez, but does happen to baseball players here and there. And went through the surgery. He doesn't look like himself. But people are putting this on him and stuff like that, which people turn it. It's not a big group. It's not, I wouldn't even say a small group, but I've seen enough on my For You page of people trying to blame or be mad at Jose Ramirez. Like, yeah, he needs to play better. He knows that. Who's madder at him, at Jose Ramirez, than anybody else ever could be? Jose Ramirez is that. But this is a guy that's taken a discount to be here. He signed 7 more years in the offseason, so basically have his whole career here, which isn't typical for baseball players that are really, really good here in Cleveland. Right. So let's not go at Jose Ramirez. But Rye, my grandfather would hate me saying this, but feels like we're coming down the stretch of just enjoying like bright spots of the young guys and bright moments the rest of the way, and not really preparing for any sort of run.
Yeah, I mean, I've been talking about it for weeks. I mean, it's really sad what's happened, but this team is standing on a fault line, and the cracks have been forming for a month now. I mean, they've been 3-8 in the last 11. I was 3-7 until today, so of the last 10. But underneath, the number is even worse. It's the timing. That's what I'm talking about. It's the opponents. It's the standings and how they're moving right now. The fact that every team around them is accelerating, and the Guardians are stuck in neutral right now, man. It sucks. I mean, a couple weeks ago they were sitting second in the American wildcard race, and that wasn't a fluke. They had survived injuries. They held their ground, and they were positioned to make a run once Jose Ramirez returned. But that was the moment they needed to push, and just everything has fallen apart. And now they're down to 6 in the American League wildcard race, and the teams that passed them, that's where I think the frustration really kicks in for me. Minnesota passed them because they stabilized. The Twins didn't suddenly become a juggernaut. No, they played 500 ball while the Guardians played 300 ball, and that's all that it took. Detroit passed them because Detroit refused to quit. And the part that blows my mind is the Tigers literally traded away their ace, their best pitcher, their anchor, and somehow went 7-3 in their last 10. And 8-3 in the last 11, because I won today. I was doing this is my notes from earlier. So Cleveland added reinforcements for this team and played like the team waiting for someone else to take the wheel, and the standings are telling the truth. You fall from 2nd to 6th in 2 weeks. That's not bad luck. That's not injuries. That's not scheduling quirks. We have the easiest schedule remaining in all the MLB right now. That's absolute performance and execution. That's a team that hasn't matched the urgency of the moment, and that's what's frustrating. I'm not going to pretend like the new guys haven't helped either. Joe Adela's already delivered big swings, which is awesome. Foster Griffin, gave them a solid outing on Wednesday, and Nathaniel Lowe's chipped in as well. But the rest of the roster hasn't followed their lead. For the most part, this team as a whole hasn't matched the intensity of the guys that just walked through the door, and that's very concerning to me. I mean, can the Guardians still make the AL wildcard race? Yes, but they're running out of runway, and they're running out of excuses, to be honest. I'm getting tired of it. The only thing working in their favor, like I said, is that schedule right now. They legitimately have one of the easiest remaining slates in baseball. But that advantage means absolutely nothing. They keep playing like a team that's been waiting for someone else to fix this crap, man. I don't get it. It's too tight, too crowded, and too unforgiving for them to play like garbage.
The Dolans put no money restrictions on the front office at the trade deadline.
Right.
Front office at the trade deadline made moves, even though they said the team here needs to play better. The players on this roster need to play better. You know what sucks even more? I think the numbers have leveled off just a little bit, but still hitting really well. Steven Kwan, he started hitting when everybody was asking for him to do it. Guess who else has got hot again this year? That's Chase DeLauder. He was 2 for 4 today, and he's getting multiple hits in so many games. And there's nobody bringing anybody home. Yeah. It's agonizing almost to see 2 on, 1 out, 2 on, no out, because it's like I know that very next person is going to tighten the grip on their bat. They are going to tighten their butthole at the and they
oh gosh,
to mess up somehow.
Yeah.
I can say those things on here, of course. I'd be careful with that. But
It's anatomy.
but you know what I'm saying. Like that has been what has happened this entire year, and that's the most frustrating part.
Yeah.
Now, the way that we talk about it is because we care about the baseball and it being good, and there's expectations with this team. And if they squeak into the playoffs, like I don't want to just squeak in because I already it's going to be in and right back out. Yeah. It's going to be that Simpsons meme where the guy comes in, puts his hat on the rack, tips it, picks it up, walks right back out the door. Like that is exactly what if they were to squeak in the playoffs and they don't find if you're going to make the playoffs, you're going to make the playoffs because you go on this long stretch of winning somehow. There's no signs of that happening. Again, we're frustrated because the baseball isn't up to where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Most people in Cleveland are frustrated because, in reality, they really don't want to talk about the quarterbacks, but they look at baseball as football. Like, you only got one game a week and man, what are you going to do in these next 6 days to be? No, they are playing every day. And it is a marathon, but it has been an excruciating and agonizing and frustrating marathon this year. I don't want to look in hindsight and in reality and try to make peace with it yet or not, because we got to keep watching this. But we have been spoiled by how good this team has been. We have been spoiled by how much they do make the playoffs. And just 2 or 3 years ago in the ALCS against the Yankees, and if not for somehow looking at the lights in new Yankee Stadium the same way as the ghosts that were actually in the old Yankee Stadium, you probably make a better run that year. So we are spoiled, and we take it for granted how hard it is, but there's no solace to be taken right now. People can blame Stephen Vogt if they want. He has faults in this, but if we always go to just the coach, just the managers, look top to bottom in the lineup.
Yeah.
How many times, today, bottom of the lineup is getting themselves on base. Oh, here's the day where the top of the lineup isn't actually hitting. Nothing has aligned at all. You start out with one of the toughest schedules in all of baseball in April, and you come with your hard hat every single day. And now as things start to ease up, your attention to detail is eased up. And I heard Andre not say this. When the manager and the team say out loud to the public, we're playing tight, that's when things really aren't going well.
Yeah.
They say it out loud. There's times where teams are tight and they say it behind closed doors and they're trying to work through it. But you get to the point where you're saying it publicly, not good. Not good at all.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know. I've been saying this gap isn't to mess around with, and it's been, destroyed. So I hope that they can get out of this hole and see. They're only 4 back from what? Is it the White Sox? I didn't check, but something like that today. Well, maybe 5 back now.
You could be gaining ground right now.
Yeah.
And you're letting all these teams pass you. Like you said, what's crazier about the Tigers, not just this year. This is the second year in the last, 2-3 seasons where they sold at the deadline and they actually got better.
Yeah.
He got better by making the trades than they did getting worse. Hey, man, kudos to them. Their manager, people hate him because he was with the Astros during all that type of stuff. But AJ Hinch, as soon as he got to Detroit, he said, there's only one way we get back to relevant baseball, and that's if we beat the Guardians. And we have to try to beat them at their game and then, push our game against them. The Guardians are the standard for a lot of teams. And what they do in the front office and hiring managers and player development and the pitching and all that type of stuff, there are elements of Guardians baseball throughout the entire major leagues. Still, for close to 80 years, we still don't have a World Series to show for it.
Yeah.
Just at some point,
rough.
You really gotta push for that moment, and we'll see how things go. But even I'm getting to the bleak point, and if you know me, Rye, if I'm feeling bleak about the baseball team, that's how bad things have really gotten.
Yeah.
High school football coming next week. We will do a little preview, close things out on the other side. This is the Voice of Land on the Inside Edge Network.
Dine, drink, and dance at the premier spot in town. It's time to check out all of what our friends over at the Brothers Lounge have to offer. Everything from weekly live entertainment, a wide variety of different beers, wines, and spirits, and an expertly crafted American fare menu with a twist courtesy of Chef Wynn that'll make your mouth water. So, what are you waiting for? Head over to the Brothers Lounge at 11609 Detroit Road or check out their website, brotherslounge.com, to learn more about what you've been missing out on. Brothers Lounge, proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Whether searching for a baseball autograph by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at sportsmemorabilia.com, the web's leading source for authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and players. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease, thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, you'll have satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the sportsmemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee. Check out sportsmemorabilia.com by heading over to the partners page on our website, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. SportsMemorabilia.com, proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Discover our collection of handcrafted body mists made with clean, minimal ingredients. They offer a natural alternative to synthetic fragrances, perfect for sensitive skin and those seeking clean, mindful self-care, and the perfect gift for you and your special someone. Learn more about all Ellie Rose Fragrances has to offer right now by clicking the link on our partner page at InsideEdgeNetwork.com. First-time customers use that promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. EllieRoseFragrances.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Maser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Inside Edge Network's very own Ryan Maser and his wife Hallie. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northeast Ohio, but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more by checking out Maser Moments Photography's link on our partners page at the InsideEdgeNetwork.com website. Maser Moments Photography, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Find us on InsideEdgeNetwork.com for the latest information on your favorite shows, personalities, and network partners. Plus, we have a merch shop. That's right, we have network polos, t-shirts, champion jackets, hats, and bottles. Rep the network. Every purchase supports independent sports and entertainment media. Thank you for your support from all of us here at the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader for news, talk, sports, entertainment, and mental health.
Back for the final segment of the Voice of Land here on the Inside Edge Network. I was just going through social media there on X and saw that Zadarius Smith was in town for a workout today with the Browns. They need some depth there. They need some depth at corner. Defense is great, but once you get past that first line, that is where a lot of questions do come up. So nothing is perfect up there, but they continue to build the other positions the right way. And so I'm sure that they'll build depth there as the next year or so goes on. But still waiting for the one guy, and that is the quarterback. And there's going to be plenty of great quarterbacks here in Northeast Ohio playing high school football. Things get going. I believe there are some games a week from today, but the bulk of the games will be August 21st. High school football is back. That is music to my ears, Rye.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited. So excited. My kids are old enough to stay up to go to the games now, so I'm going to take them to a couple local high school games. It's going to be fun. So I haven't been to a high school game in a long time. So,
dude, I've been sitting in the studio the last 3 or 4 years. I love it. If my boss is watching, don't worry. Like, I don't take the opportunity away from me now. But it's just it's something different, especially like that first week. But every single week, and the parents and the fans and the kids and everybody that comes out, even through the weather. Like, we know we all sit through weather for the Browns and they're all that type of stuff. But I mean, you got parents and siblings of the cheerleaders and the band and the football team and the kids from the other sports, the other fall sports. They're coming, they're making their pit crews, and their families show up because it's just a community. It's a time for the whole community to get together in such a fun way. And yes, there's a lot of realignment this year. A lot of and that, of course, that's based on enrollment and everything. But there's I think Bishop Watterson. Not Northeast Ohio, but just as an example, they moved up to Division II. They won the last two.
Yeah, state title, Division III. Yeah.
Yep. The state titles in Division III.
They shut out Central Catholic 30-0 in the state championship last year. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I think Toledo Central Catholic moved up to Division II as well. Right. So you got to face teams like Massillon and Avon and Hoban in Division II and places like that. What's crazy to me is a name to watch for, and I think he's making his commitment announcement. I think it's tomorrow.
Okay.
Brayton Feaster is how you say his name. Linebacker, 4-star, was at Hoban. Feaster brothers were at Hoban, and Brayton transferred to Massillon, Washington. Yeah. How often do you see a private school kid go public instead of the other way around?
Yeah, I mean, do you blame them? I mean, powerhouse program, elite roster, championship level coaching at Massillon. Actually, what's funny is the week 1 matchup, the one that was going to highlight was Massillon Tigers versus the Cleveland Glenville Teddy Ginn seniors. I forget their mascot. That's right. I mean, both are powerhouse programs. Both have elite rosters. I mean. Meeting right out of the gate first week. They did that last year as well, and it ended up going to overtime. I think it was 33-27. Massillon won in that game. Oh no, Glenville won, didn't they?
It was a shootout.
Yeah, Glenville beat Massillon 33-27. It was crazy, overtime game, which is awesome. But this year, both teams are even better, and that's after losing a guy like Sincere Johnson to Ohio State. But you said Brayton Feaster is Ohio State commit, or no? Soon to be, I think, hopeful Ohio State commit. Deontay.
People list him with a commitment.
I don't think it's hard. I think it's a soft commit right now. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he said he was going to be, or I saw from Hayes Fawcett, who's
sure.
I think he does the on 3, but he's the main one that shows and it posts the commitments and stuff. I think I saw that he said Feaster was going to be announcing tomorrow. I'll look that up. It's either tomorrow or Saturday. I know I saw that, but. Yeah.
They have Deontay Malone, who's an Ohio State commit from Massillon as well, the corner. They have Xavier Owens, who's committed to Michigan State. Braylon Gumbel is Boston College. I mean, that's 4 Power 5 commits before you even get to the rest of the roster for Massillon. I mean, Glenville. I mean, they have Amiri Lemons, a 5-star wide receiver. Actually, Sincere Johnson. When I asked him during our interview, who would be the guy who is the next up and comer. If you named a name, he named Amir Lemons. This thing's going to be a beast. They have Kalen Bailey. He's committed to Colorado. Devon McDougal, James Madison. You got a Kent State commit. You got another 3-star receiver. A lot of good talent on this Glenville team. I'm super super excited for this week 1 matchup for sure.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be a good one. I mean then.
State champion versus state champion, man. Multiple, Power 5 commits. It's going to be, 2 of the best coaches in Ohio. That's going to be a fun game. Sorry.
I mean, and
a rematch.
A Division 6 school like Kirtland, they have a new starting quarterback for the first time in 3 or 4 years because Tiger Laverty's kid is no longer there. If he finally graduated, pretty sure I was fitting Tiger Laverty's kids for cleats when I was working in sporting goods, but while going to college. So that is going to be interesting. They don't have their big time running backs back there, John Silvestro and some of those guys. So, I mean, they continue to churn them out. They run the same system. I think that's important. Right. A lot of these great programs, Avon, Kirtland, especially from the public school standpoint, Perry up here in Lake County. Yeah. But I mean, even like down there in Massillon Prairie, like they do the same or very similar systems from, and I don't want to call it dumbing it down, but kind of break it down a little bit more from Pee Wee up through once you get to the high school. So like it's not as foreign to you when you get up to these other levels and into high school, and you can just show who you are. And I think that's very important. I mean, and the biggest thing now is nobody, and especially the big time programs, like it's great if you go undefeated, but like teams don't care if they do or not anymore. I think I want to say like Ignatius or Walsh or Hoban, like there's a lot of those private schools, like they're going to so many different out of state, like they're not really playing in-state rivals or Northeast Ohio games because like Ignatius has got to rebuild, but like St. Ed's, they're going to play teams from New York and places like that. Like they'll go all over the place. Like I think Hoban starts in Florida this year. Like it's all about preparing for the playoffs. Like these teams know that they're going to do enough to get into the playoffs. You got 16 teams in every region. They're going to make it. And by the time they get to that point, they're going to be battle tested. Yeah, they want to win every game. And I'm not saying they're trying to lose or anything like that. But, in the past, it really was like, let's try to go undefeated. We know we can win. The focus now is like Ohio high school football is amazing all over the state. We better be ready. And the only way to do that is face some of the better teams from other states and try to bring Northeast Ohio or Ohio high school football elsewhere and show why we are so good.
Yeah.
Like that is what excites me. And another thing that's exciting when I'm going to be, covering this stuff this year and hopefully maybe sharing some of the stories that I find, maybe the next week leading into the next week of high school football. I'm going to try to use high school football. That is the main focus. We all love it, everything like that. But I think it can also be used as a beacon, the way that we cover high school football. Do what Vince McKee does at Keon Sports. Like they cover everything. They're covering the soccer, the basketball, the track, the volleyball, like all these other sports. I want to do the same thing. Like I want to utilize, and the station I work for, we do a game of the week every single week. Like especially for those two schools to make it big. I want to like talk about some of the other student athletes that are having some success in volleyball and golf and some of these other sports. And I think that's very important because there's student athletics in this area. It's just great in general. I can definitely attest to that. So looking forward to it. We'll have a little bit more next week as we start to see some game preview capsules come out, more specifically about some of the big time games going on. And we'll highlight a few more and some great student athletes next week as well. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Voice of the Land. Of course, Rye, you have the Commissioner's Couch coming back, season 3.
Yeah, dude, season 3 Commissioner's Couch. We're going to call our shots. Who's going to be the best quarterback, receiver, tight end, and running back at their position, and who is going to be a guy that we're going to fade, maybe one of the top guys at the position who we think may have a bad year despite what consensus says. So check us out. We'll be live in 15, 20 minutes.
So make sure to check them out. We'll be back next Thursday as we have one preseason game in the hopper, another preseason game ahead of us with a Bills joint practice happening just before we get started. And we'll break all that down, see where the guards are at. And we didn't even get to it because they're not playing yet, but NBA has their schedule out. So sooner rather than later, time to start thinking about those Cavaliers yet again. So we will get into all of that. We always do. We always have a great time. Thank you to you, Ryan Mosser. Thank you to the great people at Inside Edge Network. The great people at Greeny Sports Cards. Reach out to them, greenysportscards.com. Get all the information, all the shows. Think they're going to be at the Medina County Fair coming up at the end of the month. So make sure to check them out. They're all over the country, and they're great people. For my co-host, Ryan Mosser, I'm Kevin Arnold, reminding all you sports fans, don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game. Love you. We love you all. 3,000. Don't talk about it. Be about it.
We may have a guest next week as well, so keep that on the back burner.
Well, wink, wink. Because we still got to talk Ohio State. So we may have a guest next week. We shall see. This is the voice of land, live life, all gas, no brakes, right here on the Inside Edge Network.